Welcome to the vlog, the one entitled where Gina pulls her head out of her butt. Welcome. This is going to be, I don't even know. It's going to be a mix of like me staying accountable along with books, along with my week. I say that because if you've watched any of my other vlogs, you know that I was trying to do 75 soft with my friend Lynn, and yeah, that fell by the wayside. I did not accomplish anything. And I had been not stepping on the scale because I knew, and so I did. And I'm like, oh, I've gained like 7 pounds in September. So that was not good, because I had been working on losing before, and I had gotten myself into a really good routine, and then I let emotions play more of a role in me just doing my routine. And today it was like, nope, you need to stay accountable. And you know what did it for me was like, pull your head out of your butt. I finished reading The Year of Less by Cait Flanders, and she's a person who drank too much, she shopped too much, she binge watched, like everything she did was a binge. She binge shopped, she binge drank, she binge shopped, and she binged ate. So I finished that book last night, and it was good. And it was a memoir. I thought it was going to be more of a self-help, but it was more of a memoir. But it did make me stop and think about what I'm doing, what I need to take control of in my life. So I'm gonna make some coffee, and I'll be right back. So one good thing that I do like about ebooks is that they have oftentimes clickable links. And so The Year of Less has a bunch of resources. Like she has mindful.org, which is an online magazine, a bunch of TED Talks, Calm app, Headspace app. There's Cladwell, which tracks how much of your clothing you wear, and Sortly, where you can take inventory of your belongings. But they also link to, at the end, because I believe this is a Hay House publication. I mean, oh, here comes Chuck. Cheers. Off to tutor. There it is. What are you doing? She doesn't have too much energy, does she? Get girl. So I'm out here working, and look at who's watching. If you've been here a while, you know about the kittens, the feral kittens. These are the 2 I was not able to trap. If you look back on any of my old vlogs, you will see the kittens around December. We had trapped 3 of them and found them homes. The Humane Society helped out. But look at these 2. They live under the deck there, but they're so cute. But they sit and watch me. And then if I go near them, they run away. But they're so cute. Feels good to be out here just relaxing. I just got done doing my March wrap-up video, and just sitting outside. Probably should have a book with me, but I got my old clothes on. I'm gonna be raking, cleaning up the yard. I got a workout in this morning, short but sweet. My muscles are feeling it. Hopefully when my husband gets back from getting the truck inspected, we will go for a walk. I'm feeling a little bit better today, not so like broody and moody. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it's just me thinking like, okay, you need to get your act together. But yeah, so later on I'll upload a vlog probably tonight, and then in a couple days I'll get my March wrap up out. But yeah, so now I need to, I mean, there's so much I need to clean up in this yard. So I came up here, I'm working on my March wrap-up video. Took me forever to put it together, edit it, everything like that, and then suddenly there was some exception to something and my screen shrunk and all of my tabs separated and Slack crashed and I had to reboot my computer. And the thing with Clipchamp free version is you can't save anything. So it's like an hour, more than an hour's worth of work gone. Not happy. And it's like 9 o'clock at night. So I'm gonna see if it's still there. Keep your fingers crossed. Nope, completely empty. So now I have to import media all over again. Yeah, it's now the next morning, and you wouldn't believe I had to download all of these videos again. And then what happened, as I'm waiting for them to upload, I wait and wait and wait, and then they tell me, got doggy treats, that the first video is corrupted and I can't use it. Now, is that a Clipchamp issue? Here, Nellie. I don't know. But, here, Nellie. But, I either have to make the whole first section again. Well, I will. Come here. I have to make the whole first section again. The whole first part where I talk about Wayward. Maybe it's for the best. After I rewatched it, I realized I was very over caffeinated or something in that video. I was like, whoa. So if you see it, you're like, wow, she's got a lot of energy today. Yes. Maybe it was the excitement that I was alone in my own house for like 2 hours. But today it's snowing. So yesterday I was working outside. Today it's snowing. I have tutoring. From tutoring, I go right into scoring the state test. And then from there, I should go right into a webinar for caregivers who, and it's about navigating the healthcare system when the person you're caring for has cancer. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I feel like it's a lot of sitting. I got to get my workout in this morning. Yesterday I did really good. I had my workout. I did my fasting. My sleep, not last night. Last night was fair. The night before that was good. So yesterday was overall just a much more up day. So hoping for another up day today. All the different weather. Now it's snowy. Not really bad. I mean, it's barely there. It just says it's snowing. I am off to a new library. So I haven't been to this library in 20 years, maybe. So we're going to check it out. I'm going to return the books that I have, and then I'll have a library haul when I get out. If there's not too many people there, I'll take some video while I'm in the library too. Okay, I'm going to do like a quick mini haul sitting here in the parking lot. The parking lot for this library is so small. There's only 4 parking places. Yeah, so I don't like to take up spots, but there are a couple that are empty. I'm very excited about this haul. This library I haven't been to. It is beautiful. It is so old inside, and it's so pretty. But really quick, I'm just going to read them to you. I got Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books by Kirsten Miller. I got Linda Lael Miller, Where the Creek Bends. The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer. This is for my classic book reading challenge by Suey. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I never heard of this book by Lynn Cullen, The Sisters of Summit Avenue. It looked and sounded good. And I got this nonfiction. It's Nomadland. I don't know if any of you have seen it on Netflix. I think it's Netflix or Prime. It was very interesting about documentary about a woman who became a nomad to save money. So, and I love watching van lifers on YouTube. I would never have that lifestyle, but it's very intriguing to me. All right, I'll catch you later. Okay, I just wanted to touch base on those library books a little bit deeper. The 2 I've started reading. I've started to read Nomadland. It's by Jessica Bruder. And basically it is a memoir of a woman who becomes a van lifer, nomad, in order to save money. And she talks about herself, but she also goes around and she interviews a lot of other nomads. She pulls together a lot of facts from different sources. So it's not a strict memoir. She really does a deep dive into the people who live nomadically for a variety of reasons. And I've just started it, and she's interviewing a woman who's in her 60s who got to this point in her life where she doesn't have a career, she doesn't have a pension, she is worried about money and living off of Social Security, and so she decides that she's going to live out of her van and do various jobs. Right now she's doing a job in one of the federal camping areas. I like the way it's written. I like the mix of memoir, facts. It's eye-opening. And I did see the video on Netflix, I think, or Prime, the same name. And that was also eye-opening. It was very good. Then I started this again, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This book is for the classics challenge that Suey, six classics in a year. So the book was first written in 1943. It takes place in 1912 about a little girl who lives in Brooklyn. Her father's an alcoholic. Talks about her life. I loved this book when I read it in middle school. And then I believe I read it a couple times, like in high school, maybe my early 20s. I have not read this book in a long time. I am surprised at a lot of it's not really even innuendo. It's pretty blatant sexual references that I think went right over my head as a kid reading this book. And now I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, I don't remember that. Which I suppose is good. I suppose it means that it didn't really mean that much. But in my head, I always thought of this book as a book for middle grader high schoolers, because that was the age I was when I read it. And now that I'm reading it, I'm like, oh no, this is an adult book about a girl, but it's still an adult book. So I am reading this. And I'm still, I really love this book. This book, I thought I have seen before. And it is Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books. It is written by Kirsten Miller. So the premise is Lula Dean is a resident of Georgia, and her mission is to remove propaganda and porn and all the bad books from the local library. So she decides that she builds her own little free library in her front yard, and she fills it with classics like The Southern Belle's Guide to Etiquette and 101 Cakes to Bake for Your Family. But unbeknownst to her is that a local troublemaker has secretly restocked her little library and kept the covers of the proper books, but inside of the covers has replaced them with banned books, such as gay romance and Black history and Judy Blume novels. And the townspeople start borrowing these books from her library. I think it sounds really good. Then I found this book. I've read Linda Lael Miller before. I really like her books. This is Where the Creek Bends. I have never heard of this book before. Really quick, let me give you the synopsis. It's about a person named Madison Betancourt. She's moved back to Montana to care for her grandmother. She's called off her wedding and worries her dreams of a family are fading. And then she kind of thinks back in time, to when she was a child. And she remembers a friend named Bliss Morgan, and Bliss suddenly vanished. And so now that she's back home, she is trying to figure out what really happened to her friend. I don't know. I don't know if it's suspense, if it's just a regular romance. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, the next book I had not heard of. It is called Sisters of Summit Avenue, and it is written by Lynn Cullen. She is the national best-selling author of Mrs. Poe, and this is about two sisters who have an estranged relationship. So the one sister is Ruth. She has 4 daughters. She runs a farm. Her husband, John, was infected by the infamous sleeping sickness that devastated families across the United States in the 1930s. Now, I'm pretty up on history, but I don't know what the sleeping sickness is. I'm going to look that up. She's very kind of jealous of her older sister. Her older sister, June, is married to a wealthy doctor, and she got a job as a Betty. And a Betty is one of the perky recipe developers for Betty Crocker. So she's unable to get pregnant, even though she really, really, really wants children. And the man that she loves actually is Ruth's husband. And so they meet again reluctantly, and there's a confrontation that just sets things into motion, they've been stifling all of these years. So I thought it sounded like a really good book. And then I also have, last but not least, I have this book. It's called The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer. She is the author of The Interestings, which I always thought sounded like an interesting book. Let me see what this one is about before it sounds like it is the story of this college freshman named Greer, her boyfriend, and this woman who kind of becomes her mentor throughout her life. She leads her along the most exciting and rewarding path of her life. So I don't know how that's all going to connect, but it says the questions that the book kind of delves into are: what does it mean to be powerful? How do people measure their impact on the world and upon each other? And does all of this look different for men than it does for women? I don't know. Have any of you read this book? So that is my group of 6 library books that I have for April. I'm excited. I think they all sound really good, so hopefully they are. On that note, somebody smelled the catnip and wound up getting stuck in this box of my husband's donuts. We got some catnip. And this is like our cat and dog medicine drawer. What are you doing? Oh, really? Really? While I'm waiting now for this, because I don't dare walk away, this book I started last night is really, really good. It was published in 2024, and I love the premise of it. I mean, it is really talking about everything going on right now in the United States and the way people think. And basically what has happened is this woman is trying for attention. She's one of these women that has to have attention all the time, and she decides to make it a point to try to ban all these books from the library. She gets the town up in arms against these books, and she fills this little library in front of her house with appropriate books. However, there's one young college student who comes back to town, and she decides to take all of these risque, so to speak, banned books and put them inside the covers of the so-called appropriate books. And the book follows the different people who are taking these books out of the library once they discover what they are and how these books are changing their lives and educating them, and just changing their way of thinking. It's really good, and it's such an interesting premise for a book. So far I am loving this. If you have a chance to read it, read it. I'm still working on A Tree Grows in Brooklyn and Nomadland, but this is a really nice, lighter book. Easy, I don't know. I mean, the topic isn't light, but the writing style is light, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so I'm gonna make myself breakfast, and I might sit down and read a little bit. I don't know what I'm gonna do today. It's Sunday, and I don't have to work. I don't have to do anything except pick my grandson up from work. So it should be an interesting day, or not. So one thing I think I'm going to do today is rearrange my office. I don't really like the way it is. It's a mess. It's a huge mess right now, but this is a door to the hallway. It's a door to another bedroom, guest room. So I have these carts. I've got my desk. I have this other little bookcase. I've got this antique vanity that I really don't have anywhere else for. I need to keep it in here. I've got my printer and a chair. There we go. Get your depth perception right. I have one plug there, and then one plug behind me, and that's it. It's an old house. So I'll show you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I'm going to put my desk here I used to have it here a long time ago. That would be that area right there, because there is a plug right there. I could have my desk, my cards, a rug, bookcase, move it over here, maybe put my chair here in the corner along with the vanity, and my printer stand, radiator, window. I don't know if this will all work, but I think that's what I'm going to work on today. I do like being able to see out both these windows. I do like that, but I'll still be able to do that sitting here. And that way it frees up the middle of my room more. I don't know, I'm gonna try it. See how it goes. Okay, so the first part is to clean all this stuff. That's what we're gonna be doing first. The things you find. This is from September 16th, 2001. And it was an essay about 9/11. I think I'll keep that. I should probably have done something more with it, but I didn't. We got the Star Spangled Banner on the back. Whew. Yeah, I was teaching 4th grade when this happened, and I had just taken my class to their special, and we came back, and one of the teachers had her radio on because it was our break, and that's when we discovered what was going on. We were not allowed to say anything to the kids. We just kept on teaching and sent them home so they wouldn't have a bad day at school, and we let their parents talk to them. But yeah, I'll never forget that. It's the next morning, and yeah, I did wash my hair. So we have a doctor's appointment today we're headed to, so, but I have to say, I'm really liking the setup with the office the way it is now, so that was great. Also, I love this picture. My friends and I went on a trip to, where was it? I think it was Lake George. No, Thousand Islands. We went to the Thousand Islands. One or the other. I think it was the Thousand Islands in this picture. But we often get together and do fun outings. The next one, which hopefully I will vlog, we're going to Niagara on the Lake in Canada over Memorial Day. So before or after the doctor's appointment today, I am headed to the library. I have a book on hold. And if you listen to my last video, I'll put it somewhere, I had talked about the Cait Flanders book, A Year of Less, so I decided to look for and get her next book. It is called Adventures in Opting Out, A Field Guide to Leading an Intentional Life. And it was published in 2020. It says, with Flanders' guidance and advice, drawn from her own journey, you'll have all the encouragement and insight you need to take the path less traveled and create the life you want. I am always open to hearing people's ideas about that topic. I think even as a person who has had 60 years of life behind her, it's interesting to hear others' viewpoints about moving forward. So I'm going to pick that up, and I will be reading and sharing. I'm still reading all 3 books: Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Lula, and Nomadland. And I have to say, could not stop reading the Lula book. It's really good, and I really love that it is now. You know, it's very new, and it's talking about everything that is going on in our country right now, and I'm just really enjoying that. So many books that I read are historical fiction, and you know, it's nice to read something that's very, very contemporary. So that is what's happening today. Next time you see me, I'll have my hair done.
I just wrapped up work. A lot of in-person meetings today. I'm actually here to pick up my contacts. Jaffe's vet, my dentist, my eye doctor. Everything is in Jersey. I haven't switched it to Manhattan.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up and just kind of check in with everybody, because I feel like it's just gone on and on and on and on, which I get, it's a vlog, right? So anyway, I finished this book last night. It was very good. I'd probably give it 4 stars. And I feel like the climax was contrived. The ending was kind of neatly wrapped up. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I thought it could be a little more realistic. The climax could have been a little more realistic, I guess. But I thought it was really good. I thought the topics were relevant. I feel like everything that was discussed in this book should be being discussed. I think it's important to have conversations with people. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I would give it 4 stars. It's by Kirsten Miller. It was good. So now I'm back on to reading A Tree Grows in Brooklyn and Nomadland, I think. So I have tutoring this morning. Yesterday when we went to the doctor's office, I just came home and did some things around the house and read. But I have been pretty good this week, staying on track with my fasting's been good. My sleep has been okay, my workouts. I just need 20 minutes of workout, 8,000 steps. That's what I am shooting for. And my trouble is, I'm not making it happen. I'm just accepting if it does or doesn't. And that's where I need to change my mindset. Like, you know, I'll be like, yeah, I didn't get 8,000. Instead of seeing like, oh, I have 1,000 more steps I need to get in. I need to do it. Like, I need to push myself. And yeah, I guess that is the biggest issue that I'm having. So I'm going to work on that. Maybe next vlog will just be focused on that. I just need to stay accountable, you know? Anyway, I hope everybody is having a great reading month. Happy April. Today is April Fool's Day. When I was a teacher, it was so funny because you cannot count how many times I was told my shoelace was untied or there was a spider on me. Oh my gosh, these cats. They're fighting over here. Well, I don't know if you could say it's fighting. One just doesn't leave the other one alone because Ivy is in heat. She goes to, they get spayed next week. It's as soon as the vet could get them in. So I'll be glad to have this over with. Anyway, yeah, April Fool's was always fun as a teacher. I hope everybody has, like I said, a great reading month. Please comment below if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up. It helps. And yeah, happy reading. I'll see you on the next video.